Hey everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to XRP. Once again, thank you for support. Okay, be the CoinsKid crew. So at the moment, I think XRP is possibly still caught in a correction. It doesn't mean that XRP is going to zero. I do think there's a chance in this market that we will see higher highs and possibly all-time highs sometime this year for XRP. But at the moment, I still think until we start to see 5 waves to the upside, I still think it's possibly caught in a correction. Okay, I'm not a pun bear, pun bull, whatever. I'm just respecting the data. And one of the key data points is obviously the S&P 500. So we've got to keep an eye on that for a 5-wave move up to the upside, as on Bitcoin, as on XRP, because at the moment we only see a 3-wave move. Okay, so yesterday XRP was orange. I did relay that to you in the video. It's a short opportunity and it's come down roughly off that $2.35 level, which is a level of resistance I was showing you as well. Okay, so I do have some short set at 240. If it breaks above, you know, it could begin to say, okay, I'm really bullish, but at that point I will be looking for a significant pullback into support. At that point, after a 5-wave move up in Bitcoin, in XRP and the S&P 500, that really does increase probability that you bottomed in this correction. So until we start to see that, you know, the data suggests that we are still in the correction, and it's not the news that people want to hear, but it is what it is, unfortunately. So we've got to keep an eye on Bitcoin. Please pay attention to the Bitcoin video, because it is doing something that technically is really bullish. It's possibly broken out of a falling wedge. It's getting back above multiple EMAs as well, especially on the daily time frame, which is technically bullish. So if it does have any kind of pullback, we have to see 5 waves up from, you know, which it's come. Currently we only see 3, unfortunately. Okay, so it is what it is. I'll always try and ride the waves with you, long, short, whatever. I'll always look for opportunity. For example, right now we've got an opportunity on Flux. I'm looking to trade that. I did show this in the Bitcoin video earlier. If we jump into right now on the hourly time frame, this thing's coming up with stairs. I'm looking to short this leg of resistance up here. I've given the targets in the Bitcoin video, and I'm looking to short. It's a whopping trade. It's around about 39% trade short opportunity. We're getting multiple bearish divergence on the hourly time frame here as well. So we're an increased probability that this is just a retracement coming back up into resistance, and we're looking for the short op right there, possibly into May on Flux. So I am looking to trade that particular project on L-Bank. Links in the video description. Now, I'm going to give a detailed trade setup in the Discord for the CoinsKid crew and keep you updated as best I can right there. But if you are looking for trades, long, short, whatever, you know, come to the futures crypto blocks. Quick visual representation. You've got a couple of coins that are in a state of worry. You've got this coin down here, that coin there. So they're offering, you know, spot buys and long opportunities. And obviously we've got basically a greed statement there, greed statement there, and a greed statement there. What's that? That's Lux. We've traded that before. This has been an amazing trade for myself and the CoinsKid crew a few weeks back. That was a whopping trade, wasn't it? We made a lot of money on that trade before we went on holiday. Let's dive into the XRP chart right now and see what we can see. Okay, so looking at XRP on the daily time frame, at the moment we are getting a rejection of 786 fib and equally this double top drop scenario. I was looking at this yesterday. You got your high, you got your low, you got your lower high, and you drop through this support. Now, for those people who've been with the channel for a very long time, you know, we trade these all the time. You know, whenever you see a double top drop like this, or, you know, a triple top or whatever, you start to flush through support. You will always see the retracement into this leg of resistance, and you will always see a rejection at that. And yesterday, look at that rejection so far. Okay, so it's coming back. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to flush down and do something like that. It just means you run into resistance at this double top drop. You got your God candle back test breakdown. You flush through the support. You're retracing back up into this resistance. You are seeing resistance at that, and this is typically what we see. So what we need to see is a higher low and then break out. Okay, if we do start to see that, I would imagine we've got another leg of resistance around about $2.40 where this could start to, you know, create a bigger retracement for this particular chart. Now if we do start to see that without 5 waves to the upside, that increases probability that this is simply a correction. You know, you could look at this some kind of flag. You're trending down like this and you're flagging back up like this. Okay, for XRP you're just flagging, which is basically bearish price structure. Flag, 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 back up into the resistance, making a lower high, and then you drop again. You know, and you're basically just coming down, flagging up, coming down, flagging up, coming down. So what I'm looking for right now is 5 waves from the bottom from which we've come. If we start to see that, just like we saw way back here, I think it was July, wasn't it? Come with a 1, 2, huge waterfall, 3, 4, 5. At this point this went sideways in some kind of expanded flat correction, which we traded. It was an A into a B into a C. We nailed this double bottom, look at that, and then boom, we broke out. And this is what I was looking at. I was looking for this big breakout because simply this wave 1, okay, into an expanded flat wave 2. This is a beautiful ascending triangle, a reversal pattern, and then boom, we broke out. And this is pretty much what I'm looking for in the current time frame. I'm just looking for the, you know, the data and the price structure to give me more clues that what we've seen is an impulsive wave 1, where we've seen 5 waves up from a bottom. And this to me at the moment doesn't look like that. It looks corrective. It looks, you know, zigzaggy basically at the moment. So again, there's no bias. It is what it is. But I'm just relaying to you that I still think we're caught in a potential 1, 2, 3, possible 4 coming up, then a final flush to the downside for XRP, where eventually we break out to the upside like that, okay? And what we will be doing at that particular time frame is eventually catching up with the crystal ball, which is basically liquidity leaving the market late last year and then re-entering the market and breaking out to the upside. But if you look to the left, okay, so XRP is caught in this correction. If you look to the left, it did exactly this last year. You came up impulsively, then it was caught in this correction. Let me move this up for you. It was caught in this correction. Liquidity was leaving the market, entering the market, sorry. So liquidity was coming in, but what was XRP doing? It was still finishing off its correction and then eventually caught up liquidity, where in December last year, liquidity left the market and eventually it's coming back into the market. So there's a lag, okay? So it doesn't mean just because liquidity is taken off into space, the XRP is going to take off into space as well. We need to just respect the structure. We need to see 5 waves up from the bottom before we can get, you know, incredibly bullish on XRP again, because at the moment, this looks corrective to me at the moment anyway, until we start to see 5 waves up. And this is just me respecting the day. I hope you appreciate this. This is not me being moon boyish or bearish or anything like that, moon tar, bull tar, whatever. I'm just looking to trade this. Obviously, if we start to break out to the upside, take out the 1 fib and see 5 waves in that particular scenario, okay, we've got a massive increased probability here that we have actually began to, you know, catch up with liquidity re-entering this market, and that's what I want. I want to see that, to be honest with you. So I am in a little micro short setup. I'm looking at $2.40, stop loss 1 fib, but if we do start to come in some kind of 1, this is a pullback 2, we're coming up in a 3, 4, 5, you start to see 5 waves up off its bottom, okay, we've got an increased probability that that is your low. But like any low on XRP, you know, you don't just take off into space. You come up impulsively, go sideways in a correction, build support, high lows, boom, breakout. You know, we just don't quite see that yet for XRP. So if we take a look at this scenario here, I think this was in January of 2023 right here. We come down into 1, 2, waterfall 3, 4, 5. We start to come at a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup. You got your flag coming back, then it broke out, okay? And if I drop the liquidity in, you can clearly see, you know, liquidity was re-entering and coming back out the market, into the market, sorry, but XRP was finishing off its correction. So again, you know, we do lag liquidity, but it can be a guide to the future price action for XRP, but it's not guaranteed. Please remember that. So the crystal ball is an amazing indicator. You can get into your charts, just go to CoinsKid.com in the indicator section. But for me, I am still macro bullish, but I still think we're possibly caught in this correction, but eventually we will catch up this, you know, beautiful liquidity coming back into the market, whether or not it's today, tomorrow, whatever. I just think it's coming down the line, but for the meantime, I just think we're in this overlapping corrective nature here, where we may see another little flush of the downside for XRP, you know, and everyone gets extremely bearish right at the bottom. So I'll leave you with that. I'll keep updated as best I can, but what I'm looking for to invalidate, you know, the potential of another drop to the downside is an impulsive 5-wave move up from this bottom here. And at that point, we can get incredibly bullish on XRP. If you are looking to follow me on the L-Bank trade, definitely jump into the Discord right now. Keep updated as best I can. Stay up, stay strong, stay tuned. Take care, everyone. Back to number 8 in XRP. Bye bye.